Hola Colchoneros, welcome to Atleti Fanatics, and we are back with our sad faces because again, our team just can't catch a break, can it? Just one win in last 6 games. It's very concerning, to be honest, if you ask me. One win in last 6 games is very concerning, and what really disappoints me more is that I think that we just had like one bad game. Other than that, like 5 games, I think we were pretty good. We were pretty dominant. We had a pretty good game, but then again, like something stupid happened, or again, mistakes from our players. I don't know. It's just that, like I keep saying, we're the most jinxed team in the world. Like we are serious. Like I'm telling you guys, there's literally a juju lying in Metropolitana somewhere, or at I don't know, at the offices of Atletico de Madrid, because there's no way we see Real Madrid getting lucky, we see us getting unlucky. Sorloth red card. That was a red card. The same thing happened with Mastantuono in the Spaniel game. That should have been a red card as well, but he just got away with it. But for us, it's just not the same. It's a red card. But I'm not going to complain that that wasn't a red card. That was a red card. But again, Mastantuono's was the same challenge, and like he got away. So yeah, we are never lucky in that stance, and the last 5 6 matches has been that way. That just luck is not favoring us at all, not at all. Cook even said this in his post-match interview that like we are playing pretty well, but like the football is not giving us what it should give us, and I kind of agree with him because again, like there's no way like you just dominate the game and then something awkwardly happens and then you concede a goal. The way we conceded as well, that was a shot. That was not even a cross. That was a shot. But again, it ended up in the back of the net.
To me,
I'm just gonna take you. I'm just gonna let you take the lead, Saint Keeks. I guess you have a lot to say. So,
yeah,
what do you think? Go
I
on.
have a lot to say.
Go on.
Just briefly before I get into what I want to say, that Mastantuono red card, well, should have been red card, I should say. It reminded me a lot of the Griezmann red card that he got versus Liverpool.
Liverpool against Liverpool. Yeah, I
Right.
remember. Yeah, but that was a red card. That was a
We, we,
straight red card. That's what I'm saying. It's
we
like
talked about it, right? And I said at the time, I said, in those instances, I feel like I understand if a referee does not want to give a red card because the fact that the player is not looking at the ball and other things. The difference being between the Griezmann and the Mastantuono situation, Mastantuono very much did injure him and he's bleeding out of his face. You can't really ignore the fact that he was reckless because his foot is above his own shoulder and he is hitting another player. Even if the player moves his head down, it's a header, it's still above your shoulder. You are very much in the wrong. It's a classic red card, right? So it's like that's the only difference I could really say about that. So to see him get away with it in a game where I believe they won 2-0, right? Which team were they playing against? It was 2-0 that they won against. And
it was
it's
Espanol. It was Espanol.
Espanyol. So Espanyol, who is on a tear, Espanyol, who's had an incredible start to the season so far. Had Espanyol played against Real Madrid with 10 men, I can guarantee you that minimum draw, right? But here we are. Luck or no luck, I think you can't really excuse the performances that we've gotten so far. I feel like I've said this. I said that I like the football that we're playing. For the most part, in the past 6 games, right, we've been creating chances. We have not been finishing chances. My problem has been, unlike last season when we started the season, I don't know if it started this season, but unlike last season, for the vast parts of that season, I felt comfortable when we were defending a lead or we were defending in a low block or mid block, even with Longley there. So it's not necessarily the same actors or these other things. Not to say that I think Longley is good. I think I've said very extensively how I feel about Longley, but it, I felt very confident, very very confident after seeing what I saw when we even before we went up. I knew we were going to concede. It's not no if but so maybe. I knew we were going to concede. It was a matter of if we were going to concede one or if we were going to concede two. I knew we were going to concede because what we saw is the same nonsense we saw in the Elche game. It's the same nonsense we saw in the Alaves game. As soon as you go up, immediately crumble. Everybody knows the most vulnerable time in a football game is right after somebody scores. There's a chance for you to double your lead. There's also a chance for you to concede. You need to be smart in those moments. And it is not, and Simeone is not unaware of this. Nobody's unaware of this. At the highest level, for a team like us who is trying to challenge for titles and these other things, you are not unaware. The problem is we were keenly aware of what was happening, and yet you still have these situations coming on again and again and again. Molina is in awful form. He had a good game against Villarreal. I have nothing else to say of him otherwise. I don't care about any of the games that he's played. He's played really, really poorly. Even in preseason, I remember some time back, right, where I was teeter-tottering because I was saying I think Molina deserves at least one preseason to prove himself, right? Because the last 2 seasons he didn't prove himself in preseason because he didn't have preseason. He did preseason with us. He was terrible in all 3 games that he did preseason with us. And I felt very confident in saying at the time, we should probably sell him. Because if this is what he's showing us at the start of, before the season even starts, and almost nobody was playing poorly in the preseason except Molina. And that's saying something. So if Longley, is my bane of my existence, right? I am not telling you to sell him because of the preseason, but just because it's Longley. But not because of the preseason. But I'm telling you this is bad. Then you need to like everybody sees it. We tried to sell him, but Simeone, I don't know. He's a very sentimental guy, and at times you really don't want him to be. I remember the same thing with Carrasco. Carrasco had been that last season with Carrasco was terrifying, like in a lot of bad ways. I feel like I'm ranting, but it comes together. I swear. That last season with Carrasco, be it the penalty nonsense with the Leverkusen, be it just constantly dribbling into the wrong places. His best traits were almost always his worst moments in that last season of us with us. And it made sense for him to leave because Lino was the same thing that he was, but was on a potential trajectory to get higher up. Obviously, it didn't work out, but Lino had a great season, and Carrasco had a good time in Saudi Arabia. But the board forced his hand to sell Carrasco. The board had to force their hand to sell a lot of players that he's like to keep around a little too long. Hermoso was the same thing. I love Hermoso. I think Hermoso is a hilarious guy, right? But let's be real. He's a defensive problem, right? And as a centre back, you cannot be a defensive liability. Everybody saw what Hermoso was for 5 years. We know him at his heights. We know him at his lows. He is 30. He is not on a small salary. He is a player who has helped us win a league, yes, but he has also helped. He in that period of time has also made us almost drop out of the top 4. He had to go. Fair enough. He left. You replaced him with somebody who's worse than Hermoso. How did you do that? And worse yet, you kept him afterwards. I can't stress this enough. So much of our squad today is better than last season, and yet our depth is much worse. There's nobody right now who could confidently say this is better than Correa off the bench. Confidently say he is better than DePaul off the bench or the other things. Confidently say, what do you call it? They are on the level of Witzel, which is something I shouldn't even be able to say in a sentence. Every single time we go up, I don't feel confident we'll keep the lead. There's something wrong with our squad, and worse yet, the tactics on the day were terrible. We've seen the Simeone experiment with Hanko left back. He is a decent left back. I appreciate what he can do at left back. He is much better as a centre back, and worse yet, the other option as a centre back, as Longley, is worse than you and is a liability. You can't be using this for an experiment when we need points. Use Hanko as a centre back. Use Ruggeri as a. I'm going to come back to this. Let's break down the first half first. And then I will come back to where exactly my points and frustrations of tactics are. So Alex, let's your first half impressions, and then we'll come back to what I want to talk about in terms of the tactics and what went wrong.
Well, I mean, I'll just give it straight away for like my point on the whole game. I would say we were pretty good until that red card moment, and I think it was very difficult to break Mallorca, obviously. But we had our chances. It's not like we didn't have our chances. Like we had the penalty, we have the Julián Álvarez chance, we have the Giuliano Simeone chance, we had the Griezmann chance. So we did have our chances. It's just that, I mean, there's one theory in football. Like if you're not gonna score up front, you're gonna concede at the back. And for some reason, like that's really been happening with us, right? But the thing is, it's happened like right after we score a goal. So that's very weird, to be honest. But I think it's just one of those moments. Like I said, like it was just a shoot, and like it ended up as a cross, and like it went in the back of the net, in Oblak's goal, which was very unfortunate, I would say. And at the other front, I think Muriqi was playing much better than Sorloth, to be honest.
That's a surprise. That's
And good thing, Ashley. For the next 3 games, we won't be able to see Sorloth. So that's a good sign. So next 3 games, no Sorloth. And Alex Baena is coming back, and then hopefully Thiago Almada will come back as well, and hopefully we can just like I think we do lack a creator in this team, and it's not like we don't have those creators. We do have those creators. It's just that they're injured. Like we have 2 creators in Alex Baena and Thiago Almada, and then Paulo Barrios is one of those as well. But I think Paulo Barrios, again, I forgot to mention, Paulo Barrios hit the post as well. So we are creating these moments, but like we're not able to finish the move. Like like Simeone was saying, like aim for the crosses, aim for early crosses, and we started doing that. With that mic in the drinks break. So Simeone was saying like we should aim for early crosses, try to get more into the box, and we were trying to do that, and we did do that in the second half. But again, like I said, Leo Roman was, I don't know, for some reason every keeper against us has to become like prime Oliver Kahn or something. I don't know what is
Do you remember what I said in the preview? I said Learman has had a really bad start of the season, and he's been really poor in the Espanyol game and these other things. I said that specifically, and then he went and showed up and showed out. I was like, all right, man, good job for you, Brady.
exactly that's what I'm
Don't
saying.
show up
Like
in any other games, huh? But sure.
exactly every other keeper. I mean, look at Dimitrovic, the goals he conceded against Real Madrid the other day.
Terrible goals to concede.
And then against us, like he'll be literally like flying in top corners to save those goals. So it's just I don't know. They really hate us, to be honest. Every team hates us really bad. But anyway, I mean, just like you mentioned, Saint Kitts, like Leerman was having a bad day, and like I told you, like like it's one of those games like they will turn up against us. Like you can literally you can say, let's say we're having we're playing the last team on the 18th or 19th match day, the last team we face for the first time. Let's say they're having a terrible run. The players are playing terribly for the last 10, 12 matches, and they will turn up against us.
You mean
Eh,
like
you-
Valladolid did against us when we were winning the league? We were about to win the league.
yeah, and
They were not guaranteed to stay up if they won that game, but they played to try and stay up, right? But it's like I don't know, but
it's just the way it is. I mean, they hate us. They hate us. They definitely they hate us, to be honest. And then, but anyway, moving on to the tactics, I would say like until the red card, I think the tactics were spot on. What Simeone had, like he used it because, I mean, you have the possession away from home. Tell me, before the red card, did Mallorca even had a shot on goal? I don't even remember. I don't even remember
no.
Oblak making any save.
I think
The
for the
defenders were
most parts,
very comfortable. I like Lenormand
yeah.
was very great. Lenormand was very great with Muriqi. I mean, like Muriqi just like he was not able to turn or control or like like
It's
do
the
that
same thing
hold
we
up
said.
play.
We said Murici is a very good person in the air. He's not necessarily great on the floor. And while his hold up play is very good, if he doesn't get a ball to him, he's basically useless, right?
But
So
still, my
having
point.
Llorente on the one flank and then Hanko on the other flank means there's no crosses coming in. Nothing came in, no problems. We just kept on trying. So to switch that up feels like it was the very wrong option there. But I digress. Continue as you were saying.
But I was saying, I mean, like we were having a very, very dominant display away from home.
Yes.
We were winning the balls in their own half, and everything was going well again until the red card. Obviously, as soon as I saw Sorloth, like bring that leg up, I knew it was a red card. I knew it was a red. I was literally praying.
I saw it, and when the referee didn't pull it out, I was like, please, just no VAR. Just no VAR.
I was praying. Like, please, like, just like, let the play go. There's a free kick, right? So I was just hoping, let's just, like,
Lovely free
please
kick.
play. Yeah, please play. But yeah, it didn't happen. And yeah, obviously, I knew it was a red card when I saw the replay. I knew it straight away.
It's such a lazy attempt to get the ball, and it's so late because you were very aware that the person was coming into challenge for it.
And it's
So
not like Sorloth is like very good at pressing up front. Like, no. But this moment, like, you had to go with it. I mean, like be like you always are, like, a big sack of rice. Don't do these stupid things. I remember him doing the Japanese respect that thing with his little. Do you
hey,
remember that?
I was in awe. When I was watching this, like, yeah, bro, you don't want to be here. I understand. I get it.
He, he did a full Japanese that respect, with this like
Oy,
this.
oy. The whole mouse straight down. I was like, what are you doing, man?
I know, right? I know. I mean, there was no intent. He was just like, okay, I'm just gonna do it like this. That was very funny. Like this format reminds me of Memphis Depay in the Champions League, where he was doing that stupid Scorpion King thing with the roll
Yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah.
That was funny. But yeah, anyway, guys. So let's just start with the first half. So first half, again, I think we started pretty good with Pablo Barrios taking the long shot. We defended pretty well. I think Longley and Lenormand was really great in the first half. They were really, really great in the first half. They were just not letting them have any space. They were not letting them have any ball, and they were literally killing their counterattacks in their own half. So that was very good to see. David Hansko again was great, and then again, eventually, we saw that Nico Gonzalez, David Hansko going up, taking a shot, penalty, perfect. Now we reached the penalty. Julián Álvarez takes the penalty. It got saved, and then yeah, we just move on from that.
Listen, you know the funniest part is it wasn't even a bad penalty. It
Yeah, it
was
was
actually
not
a very good penalty.
exactly. I think maybe you can say a little bit about the height. Like it was comfortable for a goalkeeper, the height, but I think it was a good penalty. Like it was right into the side netting. But yeah, it got saved, and then we move on. And then I think first half, that's it. I think Juliano had a chance with the cross from Nico Gonzalez. That was a great cross by Nico Gonzalez, and I think Nico Gonzalez had another good game. He had another good game. But anyway, Juliano had the chance, and then eventually, that's it. Kind of, I don't really remember anything apart from that. So that was my first half. What
For
are you
me,
saying, Cheeks?
that first half, as much as I had to miss like about half an hour of it, so I had to rewatch the first half when I got like after the game. So I was extra mad afterwards too. Anyway, so so I watched the first half, right? And I think to myself, as much as we're doing well for the most part, this is a very inefficient method. We already saw what our team looks like when we're actually running well, especially against Espanyol. That Espanyol game, that could have easily been 3 nil in the first half alone, right? So the blueprint there is having Hanko as a centre back allows him to play good passes to the left back as well as the left midfield in Almada and Ruggieri in the game, right? Having either of we call it Cardoso and Gallagher meant that Cardoso could stabilize on this part and Gallagher could make those runs to complement the other parts of the team. Amada could come inside and just play in the midfield if he wants to, or he can run up, whatever it is. The purpose is constantly moving pieces. Ruggieri either stays back or moves forward, dependent on where Hanko moves. They are literally bouncing off each other. Having Hanko as a left back means you have Longley instead as a centre back. Longley is a good passer, but he is not a protagonist on the ball. And by that I mean Omoso is, I think, a worse passer than Longley, but Omoso is a protagonist on the ball. Omoso likes to create plays. Omoso sees a play and immediately acts upon it as often as he can, whenever he can. And be it sometimes it's on games where we end up winning. Other times it will be a really poor pass and it'll end up turning over possession. But that's what Omoso is. High risk, high reward. Longley is low risk, low reward. You get what you get. He will pass you out of press for the most part, but he is not going to pass you into an attack. That's not something he's going to do. So if you know that, you know Hanko is more of a protagonist than Longley. Why are you having Hanko as a left back? He is a good substitute left back. He's good at what he does as a left back. He's good at crashing the box. He's good at a lot of things. He's a really good player, but he could do those things at centre back too. So it's like there's a we saw it in preseason too. Remember in the Newcastle game, he almost scored from centre back where he's just making a forward run and these other things. So it's not like he can't do it. We've seen it both in preseason and in season. This experiment to me is a mistake. You're trying to do a pseudo three-man back line, and it's not working because Longley is not good in a back three, and Lenormand is having a really bad set of games. You can't do it. It doesn't. It changes.
I mean, Lenormand had a good game. I think Lenormand had a good game. Like, I can't really blame Lenormand like in this game.
I'm not blaming Longley and Lenormand on this game.
I mean, they were really good. They were really good. Like, I can't really blame them. I think in this game they were really good.
I don't think they had much to do in this game, to be fair. Until they did, if that makes sense. For about 80 minutes.
I won't really say like it's entirely their fault, but I think like it's just that instinct. Like it was just a weird shot / cross. Because I think as a defender, like they thought like, like maybe like it's going.
You have to challenge it though.
Yeah, like maybe they thought like, it's a off-target shot, so like just let it go. But then again, you should realize that, you have Muriqi behind your back as well. So you have to keep that in mind as well. So, I mean, the only player who was around it was Longley, and I don't think Lenormand could have done anything about it. I don't think David Hansko could have done anything about it. It was just a kind of a shot, and Muriqi just like anticipates, and then he just bam, and the hit was again good as well.
Even if you feel that way, right? The fact of the matter is that cross should have never come in. Molina was getting turned inside and out by Jan. I can't pronounce his second name correctly.
Again, let's just save it for second half. We were just talking about first half.
But sure, the first half, the problem inherently to me is you are trying to minimize Mallorca rather than maximize Atletico. That is the problem that I have for the tactics in the first half. And it shows where even though we have chances, it's minimal chances. We had way more chances against a team like Espanyol, who is very much better than Mallorca this season. Mallorca has 2 points now. They had 1 point before our game. They now have 2. Good job, guys. Right? In this whole debacle, I don't think their three-man backline particularly threatened us. I think we very clearly could and had broken through that defense. So instead of trying to focus on what Mallorca could do to damage us, you should be focusing on what you could do to damage them. We were very much going to keep a clean sheet regardless, because we were going to stop them from ever creating chances. As I said, Llorente and Hanko were very much covering for any sort of crosses coming in. And if no crosses come in, nothing is going to happen with Muriqi, whatever. I can't remember. Ruggieri is not going to be that much of a downgrade. I'd argue even Galan wasn't going to be that much of a downgrade in terms of what's actually defending the crosses. They weren't particularly dangerous on that flank. Why did Hanko have to be a left back? Worse yet, why did you use all three of your healthy centre backs against Mallorca? You know what I mean? Like if Hanko or Longley or Lenormand gets injured, you've thrown yourself even further down the line. It's Pubil and then there's nothing. You have to make up centre backs now. That's not the plan. That's not smart. And as much as Simeone is a guy I have a huge amount of respect for, he's an amazing coach. Playing like that, playing in that defensive formation against Mallorca is disappointing because it doesn't show who I think he is and what his philosophies are. Because it shows a lack of ambition and the defending that you know was your want to get out of your team. You can't see in that first half because nothing's happening because Mallorca's not going to challenge you. You can challenge them. You have the players to challenge them. Raspadori, I can't really say he did that much in that first half. But if the whole system is clogged, what are you really going to do? And even with that bad system, we still managed to challenge Mallorca. We still had way better possession. Okay, in the first half alone had like 50-something passes, right? And like 15 coming into the progressive passes or going into the box. He's doing an insane game. Virus is the same way. End the game early. That's my frustration with the first half. So let's move to the second half, where the actual problems come. So
let's move to the second half. I think again we had a pretty good second half as well until that red card moment. I mean, we were good, and then again we started to create chances, more and more chances where Julián Álvarez get the chance, obviously. He turns and then again gets saved by Leorman, and then we were just going, and then again the substitutions come. I think talking about the substitutions again, I'm gonna come back to Molina. I think I don't want to see Molina no more coming off the bench. I think you have an option.
Both of us said this 3 games ago.
We have an option, even though Marco Bill is a centre back.
Even though
Marco Bill is a centre back, but I think you have an option there. So why don't you just use it? I mean, like you literally seeing Molina getting crushed. Like it felt like I don't know. Molina was literally like every time I saw the ball on the left flank, Molina was chasing the kid. I mean, the guy is literally young, and Molina is definitely not having a great time at Atlético de Madrid.
He had 45 minutes of first team football before this, right?
Not 45.
47 this season.
Oh yeah,
Nothing
exactly.
special.
Exactly. Like you have to give Marco Bill a chance now. There's no way.
I'm not saying the player isn't special because the player itself, that Jan thing played really well. I am saying
no, but still, I'm saying
for a centre back, for a right back of that level, we've seen you defend against Vinicius Junior comfortably before. Why are you doing this against a player who is not better than Vinicius Junior, who's not better than a lot of the wingers you've played against? That was terrible. Everything I saw there gives me no confidence you could ever get back to the higher levels that you showed.
Exactly, right? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I mean, like, if he's not having a good time, like, let's say, like, he can show in the training field, right? And then you can bring on Marco Bill easily. Like, give him a chance. Let's say maybe he's having this moment. Maybe he does something. Maybe he brings that bright spark to this team. Who knows? So, I mean, that's on Simeone. That's literally on Simeone. Like, for the next team, if Molina comes off the bench again, I mean, come on, man. Come on. But again, moving on, I would say Sorloth is having a bad time as well ever since the Club World Cup because missed chances, and then again the same thing. I don't think like he has scored after. Oh, I think he did score against Las Palmas. What was Las Palmas, right? I forgot.
You scored against
Elche. Sorry, my bad. Elche. They score against. Yeah, if they score against Elche, that's it. And he hasn't contributed anything after that. Nothing.
In that same game, he could have had a trick.
Exactly. True. That's what I'm saying. Sorloth is not having a good month in general, I would say. A red card, miss against Liverpool, and then again the game before that. Not good at all. So it's good. I mean, it's a blessing in disguise, to be honest. Like, it's better like we won't see him again. But again, I think this is something we should see. Maybe, like there might be an opportunity in January. For now, for me, I would say like get me Vlahovic easily. Like swap him. I mean, swap Molina for Vlahovic. There were talks going on, right? Like, I
I
mean, you can actually do
right
it, but
now, the way I feel, I'd get rid of Galan, Molina, and Sorloth like that. If I could get rid of Longley and we could get a actually decent centre back, I'd do the same thing. But I know our club. It
again,
took
that's what I'm
this
saying.
long to
Again,
get
I mean,
Hannibal.
it's like we need another summer of reinforcement to actually like make this a better team. We are still like I would say like halfway there. We're still under construction, but it is what it is. And again, second half, let's say the red card that was obvious and that was very stupid as well. And then Sorloth again, like we said this in the preview as well, he doesn't really give that Atleti energy, Atleti DNA. But it is what it is. Sorloth gets a red card, and then actually we scored. Like wow, Lorente
We
was playing
played
as a
better
striker.
without him on the pitch, which is
Yeah,
a very big indictment onto his
exactly.
level.
And Gallagher was, I think, was pretty good coming off the bench. Like he came with the energy. He won the ball a few times, and then again he laid some chances as well. And Lorente was again for me. I think he had another good game after Liverpool. Finally, that virus of long hair is like going away. Uh, so again, I mean, even that chance actually, Leo Roman saved it, and then it was a rebound from that one with the empty net. Conor Gallagher scored, which again went to. I mean, think there was a VAR check with the handball, which I thought is gonna get like chopped off, but it.
It wasn't a handball, so it didn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, like for Atleti, it is. For Atleti, if it hits over here, it's a handball basically. So I mean, it is what it is. But anyway, thankfully that didn't happen, and then goal did stand, and then did I trust my team to hold that 1-0 lead? Nope, I did not. But I
We,
was
we,
I was
when
I
we
was praying
saw
for it.
when we saw Molina struggling, I thought to myself, well, just swap Llorente back to where he needs to be, because Molina's not good to be able to do anything here. Just put Molina at 9 or something. I don't know. Do something with him. This can't be what like at right back. He can't do anything. So swap him out. But too late. Waited too long.
Exactly, and then again, I would say the second half, Molina was getting inside, like you said, like he was just not able to control the Mallorca winger, and then crosses were coming in, but again, there wasn't really like that kind of threat until that moment where I think it was a shot. For me, I think it was a shot, which again Muriqi anticipated it, and like again it that was a good header as well, and then it's in the back of the net. So I mean, the only player I would say in that position would be Longley, but I can't really blame completely to him as well because it was a shot. He thought he's going off target, but I think like he should be aware of the fact that Muriqi is behind him. So I mean that happened very quickly. Shot, boom, bang, goal. And I think right now every player like it's just like like you see this like in this 5-6 matches I've noticed this. There will be like this one moment, like just one moment where our players will go to sleep. For example, Longley in this moment where he actually let it go, and then we consider it. We will have this one moment of slip, and the opponent will hurt us. Liverpool, Lenormand had Van Dijk covered for almost all of the game. Just one moment of, you know, I would say
Salah versus Salah in that same game.
exactly, and then just like you having just like one of these moments, and the opponent is punishing you.
Hmm.
Like
Look,
it's just
the teams you play against will want to punish you in those moments. I have no problem with players turning off from time to time. That's part of the game. Sometimes it happens even to the best of players. But it really shouldn't be a centre backs and it shouldn't be in your back line. And it's a consistent theme for us. I really don't appreciate that. You know what I mean?
I get it, yeah, I get it. But anyway, I think for generally, I would say um, it's very concerning to see just one win in these last 6 games. That is very concerning, to be honest. And I don't know when it will change. I hope it'll change soon because otherwise, I don't think Simeone. getting too much time, because if it continues, I think questions would be asked, and I think Simeone, I would say right now, is he's walking on thin ice right now, because plus the thing is, like, I mean, like, if you even sack Simeone, like, who do you bring in? I mean, think you're gonna give it to Fernando Torres, or you're gonna bring
Um,
Felipe Luis?
uh,
Bring Felipe Luis, but yeah, Felipe Luis. I mean, again,
Mid-season with Flamengo, I don't think he will leave.
yeah, exactly. I mean, like, he's literally. I mean, like, he had the investment in Flamengo, so like they're trying to build something over there. So I mean, it's not mid-season; it's just the start of the season. But again, I'll call it like maybe it's too late for Felipe Luis as well to come over here. So now, who do you stick with? Fernando Torres for the rest of the season?
That's not a
Yeah,
Fernando
exactly.
Torres, while a decent coach, is not even producing results with Atleti consistently. He's not going to do this even with Atletico. So that's me.
Exactly, and plus, like, it's not like changing the coach won't really change in tactics much, to be honest, because you will still have the same players. So we can just go on and on about it. But I mean, this is something I don't know, like, where to see, like, how can we change the situation? I have no idea, to be honest. Like, tactically, if you see the game against Mallorca, I think it was pretty spot on. Like, we had them in their own box. They were defending for the past 60 minutes or something, and after the red card, they actually like started to like dominate us. So
You know, it's really funny, right? I think I've watched Real Madrid have been down to 10, I think 3 times this so far this season, right? Every time they've won those games, not only have they won those games, they've played better than the other team after going down to 10 men, which is really funny. So that Marseille game that I watched, I really regret watching too. Uh, the Real Madrid Marseille game, right? They played Marseille. Marseille was giving them more than what they were expecting to get. And they played a really good game. Um, Carvajal loses his mind. They go down to 10 men. After they go down to 10 men, they play arguably, not only do they play better, they sub on, they sub off Kondogbia, they sub off Aubameyang, they sub off, I can't remember. So they take off some of their better players and they put on substitutes. And the substitutes are so off that it feels like Marseille is down to 10 rather than Real Madrid is down to 10. Real Madrid were already playing better than them at 10 men. Then they made themselves even worse off. So I wasn't surprised when they scored a second goal and they won the game. The penalty in question was nonsense, but they were going to score anyway, the way that Real Madrid was playing. And I think the entirety of the Mallorca game, I never felt concerned that Mallorca was going to score on us until we went off 10 men. The pressing structure, the way that we played, the way that they defended, and the consistent weakness that we saw on the right hand flank compared to the left hand flank was a very clear sign we were going to concede. Molina took us from Llorente, which is no crosses are coming in, and if they come in, it's going to be a mediocre cross, to his 3 crosses that are really good or pretty decent, and then one really good cross came in with absolutely no resistance, and then boom, it's a goal. But as you said, you think it's a cross shot, kind of, you're not really sure, right? None of that would have happened if you use is like the structure of the team is not wrong after you go down to 10 men. It's the mentality of the team that is wrong, because Molina alone, as poor as he was in that game, should not be the only one defending against that winger. If you see he is having a problem as a centre back, you need to back him up. As a midfielder, you need to back him up. As a winger, you need to back him up. He is constantly one on one with a player he cannot handle. Why is nobody else going around helping him? That is
because
my
I mean, Llorente can't run for the 90 minutes with that same energy.
Llorente is
Same,
practically
same,
playing as a 9, so he can't. We can't even talk about Llorente at this point. So he's not a winger
I
anymore.
mean, there will always be gaps, but I think like the gap was on the right hand side only, because again, I don't think Lenormand also can cover up for him, because again, so long day and Lenormand was busy with Muriqi, and then they put on Abdon as well, and Abdon is another big fella which you have
That's
to. So I don't
I
think Lenormand
suppose,
then
but
long
stop
they
the
could.
cross from coming. If you stop the cross from coming in, you don't have to worry about the guy behind you. That's my honest thoughts. You stop the cross, you get the pass, you create a chance. It's a very
You need a
it's
very good
easier
right
said
back.
than done. It's
You
much
need
easier said than done.
you need in that position. You need a very good right back, like who can actually
For sure.
go toe to
This
toe
does
because
not to me this doesn't absolve what we saw from Molina. That was terrible and I don't want to see it again.
exactly. I mean, like I said, like Carvajal would give a tough time to the winger, and
But
I remember
Llorente
Carvajal.
we've seen at a very high level, right? At the right back. The problem with Llorente is he's also having a really good season going forward, like a little further forward. So you in this Simeone is in a weird place where he wants Llorente to go forward, but his substitute is not at the level as Llorente as right back. Then use
Play
the other
Martinelli.
substitute
That's what
that
I'm
we
saying.
have, right? Which is
Martinelli.
Pubil.
Play.
Pubil is as much as he is a centre back, is also a right back. That's his thing. That's what his trade is for. That's why we got him. There's so much that I wanted him as a right back for a long time. And when we finally got him, I was shocked. I was like, wow, our replacement is a player who I think at his very highest level will eclipse whatever Molina has done for us at his highest level. That's what I was thinking. And he's just not playing anymore. So I don't know. To 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 get the whole thing done though, like my whole problem with this game and what I saw of this game is it could have been done earlier. I think I saw a video of Simeone basically saying don't pass the Sorloth when his back is towards the goal, which is like an indicting thing because it's a centre forward. If I can't trust you with your back towards the goal, when can I trust you? Because honestly, that's one of the main things I need from you. At
I don't
least be
think.
on
Yeah,
top.
I think this is the last season of Sorloth with us. That's for sure.
Oh, for sure. I think it's very clear. Molina was supposed to go this season, right? This summer, right?
True, true.
I
But
even if I'm one
that's
of Molina's biggest
different
supporters, but
topic.
he was
Yeah, that's
supposed to
different
go.
topic. Yeah,
Galan
that's
was supposed to go. Longley was
it's,
not supposed to stay. Sola was not supposed to was hinting at leaving. There were
we'll talk.
options.
We'll talk about this in detail later on. But anyway, guys, do let us know your opinions about
Yes.
the game. What do you think about the game? And I mean, like, I think yeah, it's pretty late. I mean, to rant, but again, you can rant all you want, and then again, help us reach 500
Anytime.
subscribers as well. I mean, like, that can help us, with relifting our mood. And then don't like to like and share and subscribe. And I think we'll see you guys soon for the preview of the match against. Oh fuck! I even forgot to put the banner actually. But yeah, there you go, guys. For the last few minutes, the banner is on. But yeah, we'll see you guys soon for the preview of the Rayo Vallecano game, which is this midweek only. So good. It's good to see our team playing back to back, and it's good to see getting disappointed back to back. So yeah.
But yeah.
Until then, guys. I mean, like it's Atleti. We know it doesn't get easy for us in any way. Until then, guys. Hope Atleti. See you guys soon.